I'm pretty tired of the same thing continuing to happen. I remember there was a saying back in the 60s, if you weren't part of the solution, you were still part of the problem. And I don't think that American voters really see a solution because they've extracted themselves from the equation. The irony of all of this for me, is that we keep re-electing the same people. Everybody complains about Congress, but they keep sending the same knuckleheads back. And I think, from my perspective, it's a lose-lose proposition. And I guess for me, it would take, people having a little bit more confidence, perhaps, in the people who are candidates running against these guys, that they could perhaps effect some responsible change. Far too much is being left to special interest groups, and at the end of the day, they only care about themselves and their shareholders and the bottom line for their enterprises, and everybody else gets left holding the bag. And it means that just fewer and fewer people get to enjoy the benefits of the system of governance, and most of the rest of us are getting screwed by it. And so, like I said, I'm pretty tired of it. And I think, as a person who spends a lot of his time trying to extol the virtues of democracy to my students, it becomes frustrating, and I feel sometimes that it's a worthless enterprise. But I'm going to push on, because I do believe that the future lies in their hands, not mine. My generation has screwed the pooch as far as I'm concerned, and I think it's well overdue for some significant change. I guess one of the ways that I would go about it, though, would be to encourage as many young people to run for office as possible, and not to leave it to the 60 and 70-year-old men. And if that means perhaps we're going to have term limits to get that done, or just vote the bastards out of office, that's what it's going to take. It remains to be seen. Maybe this next generation coming up is going to have the stones to be able to put up a fight against the system. But right now, and I hate to use those terms because it sounds so 60-ish, it was us against the man, us against the system. But the reality is the system won.